Hello, Blue Justin here, still Justin, still not blue, and it's time for a rather small this week weekly haul. So just hang around and I'll dig them out from this small pile over here. Right, like I said, it's not going to be too long this week, so we might as well get started. And the first one up is a Zavi exclusive, which is the 4K for Disney's newly out on physical Jungle Cruise. Another one that's based on a ride at Disney World, Disneyland, whichever. I wouldn't imagine it's going to go on to spawn the sequels that Pirates of the Caribbean amazingly plucked out of nowhere and massively succeeded managed to do. But I hear it's quite good fun, and I thought I'd pick this one up. And I personally prefer this steelbook cover to the regular Amaray. Extras, for what it's worth, include it's there on the Blu-ray, it appears. So they're not going to be on the 4K, it seems to indicate. Expedition mode, I don't know whether that's a sort of interactive type thing or whatever. It's a Jungle Out There making of. Dwayne and Emily, undoubtedly funny featurette. Creating the Amazon featurette. Once a skip, always a skip featurette. Outtakes and deleted scenes. And that's what you have. And it's the 4K is in Dolby Atmos, though the Blu-ray is DTS HD Master Audio. Moving on, I picked up a little thing called The Violent Professionals by 88 Films. It's a new release. It's still got probably only comes in their initial releases. It'll probably get a release later on if you just want the film without the extra little booklet. So yeah, this one's all about a cop who doesn't like to play by the rules, or any other kind, who guns down a ruthless criminal in broad daylight. He's suspended, surprisingly enough, but he's just not arrested. Then his boss gets murdered and he goes undercover. How you get to go undercover when you've gunned down someone who's going to be all over the press is a totally different question, of course. But he seems to manage and goes into expose a criminal organisation with no respect for authority, a bit like him then. Powerhouse score, starring Richard Conte, who's also in The Godfather. This is a blistering Italian crime thriller and action thriller. Lots of car chases, gun fights, more mind-blowing, and it looks like there's some nice extras. Obviously we've got this limited edition rigid slipcase. I can't remember whether I think I saw that the cover art is different on the slipcase and the Amaray inside, or not. To find out maybe one day. It's got that's new artwork on the front there. It's got the 40-page perfect bound booklet with new writings in it, a double-sided fold-out poster. The transfer is a new 2K transfer from the original camera negative. It's in English and Italian mono with English subtitles if you want to watch it in the original language. It's got an audio commentary with Kim Newman, famous for being a film expert, mostly horror stuff, but is that the other? It's got an interview with one of the actors, a separate interview, another third interview, and a fourth interview. There's other ones with the director, a video tribute, the original trailer, and a reversible sleeve. So even if the front of the front artwork on the Amaray inside is the same as this new artwork, then you can always reverse it if you want it to be different, like I probably will. And that's why, again, that was by 88 Films. Yep. Was that expensive? Yes. Well, the recommended retail for that is, because it's brand new, is still around the £35 mark, but it's actually available for around 20. Next up, I'm going to be moving on to a couple of horror pickups, as is suited to the month we are now in. The first one that I've picked up is The Exorcist. This is a set that contains the extended director's cut and the original theatrical version. I'm sure that most people know this is directed by William Friedkin, a very famous, and some might say infamous horror movie. I have seen it. I saw it at the cinema when back in the day. Quite a lot of cinemas didn't allow it actually to be shown. It went even beyond their maximum certification, and it was up to the local council. And the local council where I was had a specific event where they allowed one cinema to show it at a special showing after, I think, the BBFC had been looking at it and thinking about reducing its rating down to normal anyway. So they gave it a go. This, anyway, I would not point. It's a nice. I haven't seen that slip on it before. Underneath, it's the classic artwork, but quite interesting with the reflective slip there. Yeah. Just because I've got a little bit of time, because I've not got many titles today. Lovely story about when I was younger. My parents had a foreign student exchange, and this one Italian girl came over. I think she was quite religious, but they were supposed to come in and be home by the time set by the people who were houses they were staying in this case my parents, and she used to often stay out later, and it was a right difficulty because obviously my parents wanted to lock up properly and didn't want us, me being my brother, being disturbed when we had school the following day, etc. Quite young then, and she kept on coming back late, as I was saying. But then her and her friends one night went to see The Exorcist that must have been shown at one of the cinemas that had been allowed it in Bristol at the time. And from that point onwards, she never broke her curfew again. She came home absolute terrified wreck. And the difficulty for my dad then became, instead of trying to get her back in on time, was the fact that he ended up having to be called at all times in the middle of the evening, saying, please can he go and pick her up from where she'd met her friends, because she was too scared to walk home in the dark. So just goes to show that, especially if you come from maybe that culture of the Catholic Church very deeply ingrained, that this might have had more of an effect on certain people than others. I think it's quite funny. This one is just one I saw because it was recommended to me by Amazon. It's going around at the moment. It's called American Mary. Yes, that's annoying. I'll show that to you in a minute. Basically, broke medical student who gets involved with an underground word of mouth organisation that does major body modification surgery for their strange clients, and the more she gets involved with it, the more it leaves its mark on her. It's supposed to be a very dark, sexy, funny comedy. Obviously very, very dark. The 18 rating gives that away. Strong sexual violence, gore, and very strong language. The standout performance is apparently by the Catherine Isabel, who's also in Ginger Snaps, and uses the Soska sisters. I believe they might be twins, judging from the clips, or not the clips, the stills that I've seen. It's got the only special features are, at least got some. It's got behind the scenes, an American Mary in London, which is, I assume, a featurette. And the big problem with this one was when it arrived, with a broken middle spindle there, so the disc won't stay on and rattles around inside a lot. For what it's worth, it has have a little bit of discard for you. I talked to Amazon about it, and they are picking that one up for me. They're sending a Hermes van out, and they're delivering me a new one either this afternoon or early next week. And on to another horror title that shockingly I have never seen all the way through. Obviously I've seen lots and lots of clips because it's so famous. And that film is, The Shining. No, I know, it's a bit of a shock. I didn't realise almost, well, I did obviously, that I hadn't, until I thought about it, I didn't realise I hadn't seen it all the way through. So, yeah, very, very famous horror movie. Stanley Kubrick, based on a Stephen King novel. Good pairing, obviously. The 4K at the moment is down to, it's only about £16, so that's very good for a 4K. Maybe I'm just too used to steelbook prices, but I think that's quite reasonable, because they seem to take an age to drop in price. But this one seemed to do okay. So, yep, I didn't realise it was only a 15, to be honest. But maybe it is. The special features on this one are the commentary, and that's on the 4K and the Blu-ray. There's a documentary with the making of, with an optional commentary, 3 featurettes, a view from the Overlook creation, crafting The Shining, the visions of Stanley Kubrick, and Wendy Carlos, the composer. I'm assuming by the fact it specifically says the commentary is on the 4K and the Blu-ray that the other featurettes and such like documentaries are only on the Blu-ray. So, yeah, we're looking forward to seeing that for the first time. Didn't realise it was quite so long, so that's going to have to set aside a bit of time for that one. And on to just a couple of anime titles this week. First up, we have Calamity of a Zombie Girl. I thought this fitted quite well in with the Halloween, October type theme. I probably would have used one of my other anime shirts that's probably more suited to horrific element, but it was a bit on the close to the knuckles side, so I decided against it on this particular occasion. So I like my videos not being taken off the off YouTube. This one was quite cheap. It was only only a tenner, or under a tenner. It's a film rather than a series, and the reason it's probably relatively well priced for anime is that it's only got Japanese language with English subtitles, as I mentioned before in my great theory. 18 rated for strong bloody violence, gore, nudity and sex references, so they're not hanging about. So that's that one. Calamity of a Zombie Girl, and it's quite interesting that on the back that the company that I recommended last week in the scrolling past bit that was given to me as a recommendation by Kermit's Ghost, alltheanime.com, is actually advertised on the back of this one, so I don't know whether how closely they are involved in the production of things as well as selling the animation. I do not know, but might be worth checking that out. I recommend it. I'm certainly going to do so myself. So yeah, that's Calamity of a Zombie Girl. And finally for this week, it's the complete series of, I don't think there's a second series. This is, it doesn't seem to have written it on the front apart from in very stylized writing of anything. It's tiny, that's what it is. It's Azure Lane. It sounds quite intriguing. It does say it's got a Funimation digital copy. I don't know how they quite work out. I think you have to get an account with Funimation, and then they will allow you to access it on their site. I don't know whether you can then download it or whether you have to stream it or not. But they have their own special streaming / downloading digital service. This one interested me for two reasons. The basic plot was Earth's seas were taken over by a strange alien menace called the Sirens, and to battle them, Earth all joined together, creating Azure Lane, which is I can't. This is the thing I can't quite work out, but it intrigues me. I don't know whether it's battleships with the spirits of, or joined in technology with their female commanders, or female commanders are the battleships themselves, or how it quite works. But I have seen on Twitter, of all places, some of the anime fan accounts call themselves the HMS something or other and put up a female captain type picture as per the front, and I'm wondering whether this is either a common trope in anime and how it's done, or whether it's just, this is quite a famous piece of anime in itself, series. It's how many minutes did you say it was? did say, and I dropped it now. Oh yeah, 287 minutes. So that's with 6 minutes of special features, which are the textless opening and closing song title graphics. So yeah, I'm interested to find that out. The other reason I picked up this one was the recommended retail. Yes, I know I've said before, I don't know where they get these ridiculous prices, is about £40 for this, and up until this week, Amazon and most other places have been selling it only reduced down to around 30, but all of a sudden this week Amazon dropped it along with others down to around about the £20 mark, depending on who you're using and who you've got cheap delivery with and that sort of thing. It worked out best for me to get it from Amazon at just under £20, 19.99. £20, comma, that was 19.99. So yes, so it's 12 episodes to make up those 287 minutes, and that does have English dubbed audio if you prefer to watch it in that. It's got English True H audio, Dolby True HD 5.1, and in Japanese it's True HD 2.0. I do find it interesting that when they dub these into English, they quite often leave the Japanese as the original audio, even though it's in high quality. They leave it at its 2.0, but the English is actually in surround. Maybe the systems here or the people here who watch are more used to surround sound and more likely to have surround sound systems than they are in Japan, where the apartment buildings and houses are much smaller. So I believe you can hear what's going on in your neighbours very easily, from what I have learned to understand. So maybe a lot of the time they'd be wearing headphones and it wouldn't make that much difference. I don't know. Anybody out there from Japan, please tell me. And as I said, short haul this week. That is it. There's not a lot coming out next week either, so I don't know what I'm going to be showing you then. We'll have to see, won't we? See if I can pick up more bits and pieces, especially looking out for a couple of bits of horror stuff to increase my collection, because I'm not normally a big horror person, especially modern type horror, as I've said before. But if I can pick up maybe some classic horror that I haven't picked up before, then I'll see what prices are going for those at the moment, and hopefully somebody will reduce them, knowing that it's the month of horror. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like button. It really does help the channel. And just to let everybody know who was entered my competition and won a prize, that I did send out information, but if you haven't seen it, all the prizes for people who sent me their addresses have now gone out, and they should be with you by now, I hope. I'm hoping, well, obviously they wouldn't have arrived today because I sent them Royal Mail and they don't deliver today on a Sunday. But I was hoping they'd be here with you on the Friday or Saturday, because I sent them first class, catching last post on Thursday afternoon. So yes, I hope you got your prizes. But to add to that, and I will reiterate it again, I'm sorry if I lost the information and it was sent to me, but Movie Mad Mark, I still do not have, or I do not have your address or where to send your prize to. So please contact me and let me know so I can package yours up and send it to you. Or if anybody knows Movie Mad Mark's real identity, Could they possibly give him a nudge and let him know whether or not he might not have even seen the fact that he's won, for all I know. So I don't really want to have to redraw his prize or anything like that. But if it's not claimed soon, then I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do with the prize and pass it on, because I can't just keep it ready for one day I might receive a message out of nowhere. Anyway, like I said, thanks very much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm putting out videos pretty regularly at the moment, so please also hit the notification bell so that you'll be informed when a new one goes up. And in the meantime, keep on enjoying all the movies, all the TV, pop into your cinema when you can, everybody's YouTube channel, and cheers.